Hi, good morning. I'm Myra. Welcome to this 1-hour Pilates class. Thanks for joining me today. Go ahead and stand up tall at the back of your mat. And then we're going to take our feet into a little Pilates V. So open up those toes, a gentle opening, not too far. And then let's engage those abs. Press your belly button in towards your spine. And then as you inhale, take your shoulders up towards your ears. And then roll them down the back to feel your chest lifting up towards the ceiling. Abs are really strong. As we start our breath, you can relax your hands down. Take an inhale breath through the nose and an exhale through an open mouth. Breathing in, the ribs open. And as you exhale, those low abs tighten a little bit more. Inhaling and exhale. Breathing in and out. 4 more breaths. In, out. Deep breath in. Exhale, belly a little tighter. Inhale, long neck. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. As you exhale, press your shoulder blades again down your back. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, bending to one side. Inhale to center, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, press them down the back, so you have a long neck. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, bend to the other side. And again, inhale, center. Exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, shoulders down. Inhale a little longer. And exhale, bend. Good. Inhale to the center. Exhale, drop your hands down by your side. Inhale again, lengthen a little longer in the center, and exhale, we'll slowly roll down over the feet. Taking a deep breath in at the bottom, and as you exhale, press the belly in and roll it back up to standing. Inhale, find your long spine. And exhale, slowly rolling it back down. Inhaling. And exhale, pressing the belly in to start your roll back up to standing. Inhale. And exhale, rolling down. Breathing in and breathing out as you roll up. Inhaling and exhale, roll down for the last time. And then walk your hands out to downward facing dog. We're going to inhale to lift both heels and exhale to press the heels down to the mat. Inhale, lift the heels and exhale, press them down. Make sure you still have those shoulder blades pressing down the back. Inhale, heels lift and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tighten that belly a little bit more. Good. Inhale, heels lift. And exhale, we're going to bend the legs and gently tap them to the ground. And then lifting the hips back up to downward facing dog, pressing the heels to the floor. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees, tighten the low abs, and gently tap the knees to the floor. And again, lifting the hips to the sky, lowering the heels. lifting the heels and bending the legs. Good, lowering the knees all the way down to the mat this time and taking the hands right under the shoulders. Tucking the toes again, and again lifting the knees up off the mat and lowering and tapping. Inhale, lifting the knees, and exhale, lower. Feel the low abs pressing into the spine, and lower. Inhale, lift, and lower. 4 more. Up and down. 2, down, 3, down, and 4, and lower. Good. Take the hands out and find plank pose. Retightening those low abs. Arms are nice and strong. Good, and then we're going to take the hands kind of wide, about as wide as your mat. And then we're going to bend one knee down and tap the knee, and then lifting it back up. And that same knee that we just worked on, going to move the hand to the center, and we're going to lower down to bring that elbow to the floor, straightening, and then taking it back out nice and wide. Other side, bending the knee, tapping the floor, and lift. Bring that same hand to the center, and bending, elbow lowering, straightening, and back to the side. And once again, lowering the knee, and lifting, hand, center, and lower, and straighten. And side. Still breathing, inhale and exhale. Hand, center, lower, straighten, and side. One more set, and bending, and straightening, and center, lower, straighten, and side, other side, bend, and straighten, hand, center, lower the forearm, straighten up, and wide. Good, let's give everything a break here. Knees together, down to child's pose, and also take the hands down by your sides. Take 3 breaths here, but still thinking about our low abs being nice and strong. Every exhale, feeling the belly button press into the spine. And then reach those hands out in front of you. And then coming back up to all 4s, hands and knees. Good. Find a nice tight center. And then we're going to come into some barrel rolls of the center. So moving our center towards the right, and then we're lifting it up as we circle to the left, and then dropping it down, arching the back, keeping the belly tight, circling to the right again. Bringing it up to the center, so we're just making a big circle. And to the left, lowering down as we arch. To the right, and one more time this direction. Curving the spine to the left. Arching, lifting the chest. And up. Good, and then find your neutral spine. Re-engage those abs. And now press your body towards the left. So we're reversing our direction up through the center, towards the right, and then arching it across to the left. Lifting to the right. arching to the left. Deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. And then taking that neutral spine again. And then glue the knees together. Taking opposite arm and leg forward, it doesn't matter which one, either one is good. We're just inhaling to lift to a straight line, and then exhale to lower it back down. Inhale as you lift, don't let the back arch, and exhale, lower. And inhale, exhale, inhale, hold it up. Now opening our arm and leg away from the center and then back in line. Opening and closing. Open and close. Last one, open and close. Lower back down, knees are together. Releasing your other arm and leg out. Re-engage those abs. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. And again, check in that you have that long neck again that we started with. Lower. Shoulder blades still pressing down the back. Maintaining that good posture. And lift and hold this one. Inhale, open. And exhale, close to center. Inhale, open. And close. Out. And in. One more. Open. Exhale, close. And lower it down. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips to downward dog. One more time. If your arms are fatigued, you can just rest in child's pose if that feels better to you. Taking 2 more breaths. And then lower the knees down and make your way into a seated position. And taking our legs out in front of us. And slowly lowering everything down to the mat. We're gonna come straight into our hundreds to start. So go ahead and select your leg position. Tabletop is a good place, or straightening the legs or taking them out at an angle or even hovering them right above the floor. But before we start, press that little back down so you can feel your belly button again pressing in to your spine, trying to keep it there. So take an inhale breath, and exhale, lift the head and chest, and then strongly pump those arms as we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, exhale, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, out, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, rest the knees into the chest. Take a nice deep breath. And then reaching the arms and legs away from each other. Nice full body stretch. We're coming into some roll back, so if you want to go ahead and plant the feet for a little more ease, a nice bend in the knees, go ahead and lengthen them. Take a nice deep breath in. And we're going to exhale to roll it up. Trying to keep our belly pressing in the whole time that we roll up and roll back. Reaching over the feet. And exhale, rolling back. We're going to stop halfway down. Good. Holding it right there and press the palms together. Then opening your arms out to a T. And then again, closing the palms together. Inhale, opening. And exhale, closing. Inhale as you open, press the belly in even stronger. And close. Open. And close. Good. Release the hands. Inhale. And exhale, roll it down. Good, and then take your legs to tabletop position with hands down by our side. Glue the legs together and inhale, lower the legs to tap the toes to the floor. Keeping them there, elongate the legs about 6 inches, sliding the toes along the ground. Slide them back where they were and then lift to tabletop. And again, inhale to lower. Exhale, slide it out. Inhale, slide it in. And exhale, lift. One more time. Inhale, down. Exhale, slide it out. Inhale, slide it in. And exhale, up. Good. Lift the head and chest off of the mat. And then opening the arms and legs away from each other, keeping the belly pressing down, and then bring it right back where we were. And one more, opening and reaching, and bringing it in. And this time, opening and reaching and slowly lowering everything down to the mat. Taking a deep inhale. If you need to bend those knees, go ahead. Otherwise, rolling up with straight legs. And reaching over the toes, our belly pressing back, our fingers reaching forward, trying to maintain a long neck. And then we roll it back down, but once again, stopping halfway. Good, and then take those hands down to the mat. Inhale to lift the arms and exhale to lower. Inhale as you lift, tighten the belly stronger than it was, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, and lower. Inhale, lift, tighten the belly, and down. Hands to the center, rolling it down with control. And taking the legs to tabletop again. Lifting the head and chest up off the mat, or you can leave it laying down. Lowering, tapping the toes. Sliding it out. Sliding it in. And lifting. And again, lowering. Slide it out. Inhale. Exhale, lift. And down. Slide it out. Slide it in. And up. Good, lower it down. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale, lift the head and chest. Inhale, opening arms and legs. And exhale, taking it back where it was. Inhale, opening. And exhale, bend it back in. This time, open and release everything down to the floor. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale, roll it up. Reaching over the toes. And rolling it back halfway. This time taking one arm down, one arm up, and switching the arms. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and center. Lowering it down. Legs back to tabletop. One more time through this sequence. Head can stay down or take the hands behind the head for our final time, interlacing the fingers. Lifting the head and chest and keeping the elbows as wide as they can. Lowering the legs. Sliding them out. Sliding them in. And lift. Feel that low back pressing down to the floor. Keeping it there as you lower the legs. Just keep it there as you slide them out. Slide them in. And lift. One more down. And out. Inhale in. And lift. Go ahead and lower it down. Deep breath in. And exhale, lift it up, placing the hands down by the hips. Inhale, lengthening away. And exhale, bend. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale, open, and gently and slowly lower. Taking a nice deep breath. And again, rolling it up to our seated position. And coming into spinal stretch. Reaching over those toes. The belly is pressing back. The hands are reaching forward. Again, trying to sustain that long neck. And then unroll the spine, stacking the ears all the way over the hips with a flat back. And then exhale, rolling it back down. Belly pressing back, fingers reaching forward. And unrolling. Exhale, rolling it out. Inhale, taking it in. Last time, exhale. And inhale. And then exhale, rolling it again, halfway back. Glue the legs together if they're not already and take them a little wider than your legs. And point the toes. And sliding the knees up and pressing them back out. Inhale to lift the knees. Exhale to straighten the legs. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, just the right leg to the chest. And slowly roll it down to the back, trying to control yourself as you make your way. Good. Inhale that right knee into the chest. Just taking a nice little stretch here for a couple breaths. Again, trying to keep those abs engaged, pressing the low back down towards the floor. Good. Keeping our hands wrapped around our shin under our knee as we lift the head and chest up. And then taking that bottom straight leg and we lift it up and down and lift and lower. Good. Make sure you have a long neck and down and up and down. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Lower it down. And then go ahead and release or switch the legs. Left knee into your chest, and we'll take a couple breaths here. Feeling a nice stretch. Good. Make sure the abs are strong as you lift your head and chest up. And then our bottom leg going up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. Good, reach everything away from each other, back into our full body stretch, inhaling, and exhale, rolling it up. Into spinal stretch. Unrolling the spine, arms out to a T. Coming into saw. Legs are engaged and strong, toes pointing to the sky, belly in. Twisting to one side, and then reaching it forward as far as you can go, keeping a flat back. Inhale to twist to the other side. And exhale, reaching it forward. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Inhale, twist. Exhale, reach. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good, reach those arms all the way up. Try to flatten that back and engage the abs. Exhale into your spinal stretch. And then inhale to roll halfway back. Again, glue the legs together, point the toes, and widen the arms. Knees bending and straightening. And bend, press the shoulder blades down the back and straighten. Bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Good, taking the left knee into our chest and slowly trying to lower it down with control. Feeling that nice stretch for 2 breaths. And then lifting our head and chest up off the mat. And this time releasing our hands and our bottom leg lifting up and down. Up and down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch out the legs and feel that stretch for 2 breaths. Relax it down. Lifting the head and chest up. Releasing the arms. Bottom leg up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Lower and lengthen everything out. We're going to roll over onto our stomachs. Good, so when you get onto your stomach, find your arms in cactus arms, just 90-degree angles. Forehead resting on the ground, and then legs can be glued together or a little wider. You're squeezing your butt, legs are strong, and then the sensation of trying to lift your belly off the mat. Keeping it there the whole time. So inhale to lift the upper body, including the arms. And then we press the elbows towards each other, taking them back up. And press them. And up. And again, drawing them together. And up. And slowly lowering it down. back up. And pressing together. And lift. And squeeze. And release. Squeeze. And release. And lower. Check in with that belly again. Make sure it's nice and tight. And another set, lifting up. And squeeze. And release. Squeeze. And up. Squeeze. Release. And lower. Good. Keeping your hands here or underneath your shoulders if your back is nice and flexible and healthy. Otherwise, cactus arms and peeling ourselves up and taking weight onto our hands to lengthen the arms. And exhale to lower it back down. And inhale to lift and lengthen. And lower. One more time, lift and lengthen. And lower. Good, hands under our forehead. We're going to do a single leg kick. So resting our head down on our hands and bending one leg in. We do inhale, inhale, exhale to reach the leg. Other side, inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. And inhale, inhale, exhale. Good, and then readjusting our arms. So we're up on our elbows, palms down, and lifting that chest strongly. Engage those abs. Single leg kick. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Good, and lower it down. Rolling back onto our stomachs. And then gather your knees into your chest and give them a little hug and maybe a rock from side to side. Good, and then plant the feet on the floor. Take an easy bend in the knees, so just a soft bend. Reaching the arms up on an inhale, and exhale to roll it up with an easy bend in our knees. Good, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, roll it halfway back. Take your arms in an O position, nice and round. And inhale to twist to one side and back to center. Inhale, twisting to the other side and to the center. Inhale, twist and center. Inhale and center. Twist, center. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Release the arms, deep breath in, and exhale, rolling it down. Inhaling as arms reach above the ears, and exhaling as they float back to the ceiling, rolling it back up. Good, elongate the legs, and again, flex the toes, engage those legs so they're strong. Coming into spinal twist. So inhale to the center, twist to one side, exhale, exhale, inhale, center. Other side, exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale, squeeze the belly. Exhale, exhale, and inhale. Good, bending the legs. And then find a little balance, lifting the heels, toes are on the ground, grabbing underneath the thighs. And then stretching one leg towards the sky. And release. And lifting our other leg towards the sky. And release. One more time, lifting. Keeping the chest lifted and the belly strong. And lower. And lifting. And lowering. Good, planting the feet. Releasing the arms and rolling it back down. Good, and then taking the right knee back into the chest and stretching out that bottom leg, and then straightening out the top leg as much as you can, taking a nice little stretch behind the leg. Two more breaths. And then switch the legs, left knee into the chest, right leg straight. And then straightening out the leg as much as you can. Maybe it gets all the way straight, maybe it doesn't. And 2 deep breaths. And lowering that leg back down. And finding that easy bend in our knees one more time. Taking our arms up. We're going to roll up, but we're going to take our arms out to the side as we roll up, so they'll end up by our hips. And then we're going to lift up and lift one leg as we come into our seated position. So arms starting above us, take a deep inhale. Exhale, arms circle, we start lifting the chest, slowly rolling up and lifting the leg. And then roll it right back down where we came from. Deep inhale. Exhale, rolling it up, coming into the other side. And rolling it down. Inhale. Exhale, roll it up, really press the belly down, belly button to spine, onto our first side. And lowering. Inhale. And exhale. And lowering down. Good, resting here, we're gonna come into scissors, so take one leg to the sky, grabbing that leg, other leg hovering, lift the head and chest, and we'll do our exhale, exhale, inhale, breath to switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale. We'll do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, lower everything down, arms and legs. And then rolling to one side. We're gonna come up onto a forearm side plank. So placing that elbow down and lifting both hips. Feet can be side by side or they can be stacked, whichever feels good for your body. And top hand to the waist and just lowering the hips and lifting the hips. Lower and lift. Keep pressing the belly button in. 3 and down. 4, good. Hold it up and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Transitioning through your forearm plank. Taking 2 breaths before we switch to the other side. And switch to the other side. And lowering the hips and lifting. Down and up. Down and lift. Inhale. Exhale and higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and find your forearm plank one more time. Palms can be flat down, or you can clasp the hands. Good, and release down to the mat. Resting our forehead in our stacked hands, legs about mat width. Again, the sensation of lifting the belly off of the mat. And we just lift both legs up. We squeeze them together. We open and we lower. Lift and squeeze. Open and lower. Lift, squeeze, open, lower. Lift, squeeze, open, and lower. Now changing, we lift, we bend toes together, straighten, and lower. Lift, bend, straighten, and lower. Lift, bend, straighten, lower. Lift, bend, straighten, and lower. Good, this time lift, bend the legs, but instead of toes together, heels together. And lift a little higher for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, go ahead and release it down. Glue the legs together. Press up through plank or a plank on your knees, whichever one you want. Hold it for 2 breaths. And then lowering the knees down and resting the hips back to the heels in child's pose. Good, and then make your way into your seated position again. Straightening the legs out. Flexing the feet. Inhale, lift the arms, and exhale into your spinal stretch. And inhale to unfold that, so lifting the fingers back up to the sky. And lowering the hands and bending the legs into the chest. This time, instead of toes on the floor, we're going to lift the legs, keeping them here bent, or straighten the legs all the way. And we're also going to release the arms. This time, lowering one leg down. If your legs are bent, you can straighten the leg, lower, and then bend it in. Other side, lowering and lifting. Inhale to lower and exhale to lift. And inhale to lower and exhale to lift. Good, slowly lower everything down. So kind of repeating what we did, bringing one leg up, but this time we're going to do it with our bottom leg straight as well. If that's too much, go ahead and repeat what we did with your bottom leg bent. So starting position with easy bend or with straight. Arms reaching above us. Take an inhale. Exhale, arms open towards the sides. reaching up, lifting ourselves with one leg. And lowering back the way we came, reaching those arms down and then opening. Inhale. Exhale, arms circle, moving to the other leg. And lowering down. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, circle it up. Exhale, down. Good. And we're coming into a second set of scissors, so start with the other leg if you can remember which leg you started with the first time. And then this time, you can grab your leg again or go ahead and do it without grabbing the leg, lifting the head and chest up. And we'll do exhale, exhale, inhale to switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale to switch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And lower everything down. And again, rolling to one side. This time coming into a full side plank on our hand instead of your forearm. Go ahead and find that position. Again, feet can be stacked or they can be side by side. Good, and then we lower the hips down and we lift up. And lowering and lifting. 2 more down and up, down. Hold it up and a little higher for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling to center, holding your plank. You can always take a break in child's pose. 2 breaths. Or lower the knees. Good, open up to the other side. And lower the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And lift. Last one down. Up and hold. Lift for 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel the belly strong. 4, 3, 2, 1. And plank. Hold for 2 breaths or rest. And then lower yourself down to your stomach. Okay, so bending both legs in towards our butt. We'll flex the feet. And reaching our hands behind us, grabbing the ankles, or if it's better for you to grab the feet, either one works. If you grab the ankles, you can flex the feet. Good, and then we just inhale to lift everything up. And exhale to lower everything down. And inhale to lift. Maybe you're getting really nice and high. And exhale, lower. And inhale to lift. Belly is nice and strong. And lowering. And lift. Go as high as you can and lower. And release everything down. Taking the hands under the shoulders and tucking the toes. And again, lifting through plank. Or you can just go straight to child's pose, just pressing up onto your knees. Lowering the hips back. Take 2 more breaths. Good, and then unroll yourself, and we'll make our way to either side. So resting your head in your hand, or you can lay it down on your arm. And then we're going to come into clamshell, so line up your feet with your hips with your shoulders, then engage those abs. So opening that top knee, making sure that top hip doesn't roll back, and close, and open, and close. Good, then open it and pulse it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And again, open and close, open, close, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Open, close, inhale, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Open, close, open, close, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, straighten the legs out towards that corner of your mat right there and flex the feet. And we lift up and down, up and down. Lift it where it was and find some circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that height right there and take it about a foot higher. Up and down, up and down, and lift and circle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And another foot up. Up, down, up, down. Lift, circle the opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. And one more level. Up and down, up and down. And lift and circle. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, bend the knee or plant the foot coming into our bottom leg. Make sure that foot is flexed and leg is lengthened. We lift up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Really press this top knee away from that shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Good, lift it as high as you can, and we'll go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, coming back into our top leg and into our grand rond de jambe, circling our leg forward and around and back. As big of a circle as you can make, forward and around and back, forward and around and back, forward and around and back. Good, sweep it forward and we'll reverse that circle, back and around and front. 2, breathing, 3, and 4. Good, placing that leg and some large leg lifts to finish up this leg. 8, 7, 6, Keep that top hip stacked. 5, it's a good reminder. 4, it's so easy to just let that top hip roll back when we lift the leg. 3, 2, and 1. Good, go ahead and switch over to your other side. We're starting in our clamshell. Find a comfortable position for your head and neck. Line up feet, hips, and shoulders. Here we go. Open and close. Open and close. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Open and close. Check in with that belly. Open and close. Is it the tightest that it could be at this point? 3, 2, 1, and down. 2 more sets. Open, close, open, close. 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Open and close. Open and close. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Stretch the legs out. Flexing both feet. Lift and lower. Lift and lower and lift and circle. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift it one more foot up and down. Up and down and lift. Circle. 3, 2, and 1. And again, up, down, up, down, lift, circle the other direction. 3, 2, 1, and last level up and then down. Make it your highest one. Down and lift, circle. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, into your inner thigh. And we lift for 8, 7. Lift that leg as high as you can. 5, oh, that's 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, and our grand rond de jambes, circling. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Switch for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, and I almost forgot. And our lifts for 8, 7. Keep the belly tight. 6, 5. And are those shoulder blades still pressing down your back so you have a lifted chest and a long neck? 3, 2, 1. Good, nice job. Roll onto your stomach and make your way to plank pose. Lift the hips to downward dog. Find that length in the spine and the neck. Good, and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Deep breath in, and exhale, press the belly in to roll up to standing, keeping our abs nice and tight. Good, and coming into a hip stretch in a standing position. So cross one leg over the other, the ankle is over the knee opening to the side, and then we're gently pressing our hips back like we're sitting down into a chair. You should feel a nice stretch in that glute. And then if you want a little more stretch, you can reach those hands down towards the ground and drop those hips and bend the leg a little further. Keep your breath going. Two more breaths. And slowly unroll yourself back up to standing. And then crossing the other leg over. Sitting the hips back, keeping that knee pressing open. Maybe it feels good to stay here to help yourself balance, focus on something on the floor. Or maybe a little deeper stretch takes the hands down to the mat. Pressing the hips towards the ground and bending that leg a little more. Keep the breath going. And unroll. Good, and then take the legs nice and wide, and then turn your toes open. Stack your shoulders right on top of your hips and bend those legs, keeping the knees pressing out behind you. Place the hands on the thighs and gently press the knees open a little more, and then bending one shoulder forward, you can press that knee out a little further. Deep breathing. Good, inhale to center, and exhale, drop that other shoulder, twisting towards the other side and opening that knee. Good, and coming to center, taking those hands down and straightening the legs. Turn the toes back to face right in front of you. You can grab the elbows if that feels good for you right now. Otherwise, you don't have to, whatever you want. And just angle over the legs for a few breaths. Good, and then walk your hands over to one side. Give yourself a gentle pull towards that side. And switching sides. And back to center. And then heel toe your legs together. And then make yourself, well, not make yourself, walk yourself out to plank to finish up with a few tricep push-ups. You're going to do 5 of them, or just hold your plank. Here we go. 1. Inhale down. Exhale, lift. 3, 4, and 5. Good, find downward dog. And again, walk the hands back to meet the feet. Deep inhale. exhale, roll it up to finish. Stacking those ears right over the shoulders, rolling them down the back. Finding our long spine. And we're done. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed your